What's going on, everybody? You got Kwasi here for Kwasi Animation Studio and Kwasi Media Network. So today we're going to talk about dynamic poses. Of course, you see in the background, you see Hunga, and it has 12 bridges. So we're going to break these bridges down. Of course, you can't see the names are pretty pixelated, but here they do show them: hard bridge, soft bridge, crowding bridge, direct bridge, dividing, stabilizing, reversed, the settling, subduing, sending, lifting, and 1 inch bridge. Okay, but we're going to just pick certain poses. Again, we want to talk about dynamic motions. So the key here is I want to have her. Oh, I didn't know I updated my OBS, so I didn't know it had this little red dot at the bottom. You probably can't see it nowhere. So uh, I'm going to go through these motions, but I'm going to do it in with a lit scene. So the scene is lit and she's on screen. So I'm probably just going to figure out which one I want, and we're going to start from literally a rest pose. So I'm going to use my default pose library, and default her to the pose I want her to be in. Okay, so we're going to start there. And I say always start from that position. So if you like create your pose library, have a default rest pose so you can go from there, because she's going to need to go. Let's say if I choose for her to go into the soft bridge, or let's say the sending bridge, she'll start here and go into that bridge. And then let's say I want her to go from the sending bridge to the lifting bridge, where, well, she still would have to somewhat go back into the rest pose, not completely. So like I said, I'm gonna pick certain one. I'm gonna pick one and we'll go from there. So I'm thinking the bridge I'll start out with will probably be the 1 inch bridge. So we can see that his body here is clearly bent at the knee, and the feet are slightly turned inward. Okay, so that means that I'm gonna start from the pelvis first. All right, so let me make sure that I already got her pelvis stuff situated, because I know sometimes it clicks multiple ones. So no, she's situated there. Okay, so now what I'll do is because he looks like he's probably 2 or 3 inches bent. So I'm gonna hit one, and I'm gonna push her feet, push this just above the top portion of right here at the bottom of where the black ends. So this is uh, GZ or GZ, right? Okay, so I'm gonna hit 3, and because I know the knees are bent there, I know I want to click these top ones. Okay, so right now we're in global. Let's go local, and this is going to be forward, of course, right? So we're going to just grab and do such. Okay, so we know clearly this has to be underneath, so I'm gonna bend this a little bit further, and then take these and go. Take these and go a little bit. All right. All right. Okay. So the legs will be a little bit wider. So hit 1 and let's make it a little bit wider. And that's the other defining factor. So you see how they're almost level to the ground now? Okay. But I also know that there has to be a balance. So he is straight up and down and not bent. So we clearly know she needs to be almost directly straight. So I'll move this forward some. And I know this needs to go back a little bit more. So I'll push it back some more. And let's look at it again. You can see that there's an angle backward. So her feet should basically be lined up with her back. So I'll push it. I think this one should be good if I push this one back. Push this up and then push this back some more. Maybe? Yeah, because then I'll push her feet up. Oh, I don't like that. Let me go fix that. Uh-oh, wrong button. All right. Turn the rotation off. Let's fix the outer rotation, because I know her feet are going to turn inward. So this is going to be the first pose, and we're going to keyframe that pose too, because we want to switch between the poses. So I'm going to keyframe them. All right. Okay. And we know these go in, so let's turn them inward. Let me turn the camera off because I don't know why I have that on right now. All right. And the feet seem like they're still a little bit too close together, so may adjust that. Oh, okay. Same thing here. Let's adjust. Because again, we'll look at it. You can see that the feet go inward. So I do feel like this is a little too far forward. Yeah, now I'm gonna go back to global real quick because I want the feet to move only on the global. This way that folding to having setting go doesn't happen. All right, there we go. Back to the front, spread this a little bit more. And I know a lot of people are just make their adjustment in front of the thing. I'm not gonna do that. I wanna fill it out myself. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and push this down. So she's in that downward position. Now understand that means that we're gonna keyframe this because now I have to also do her hands. Excuse me. So I know her shoulders need to be moved. So let's go into the actual armature. Let me grab these two shoulder bones. We're still in global. Hit 3 again, and I'm going to rotate these forward just a little because now the outer arms are going to do the same thing. Hit 3 again. I'm going to rotate forward. Right. And we can clearly see that the head is still level, but the neck is slightly bent, just ever so slightly. So it means now I need to move her head up. This is still there. Oh yeah, let's get rid of that bone. All right. Okay, so click that, and we're gonna bring this up some because we want it to be straight. Okay. Now these arms are straight. Okay, so they're not crooked, but they're also turned. So they're turned here. Okay. So we'll turn it. Right. Do the same thing here. Turn it. But also the hands need to turn because realize that when I say these are straight, hit 7, use your angles. I'm gonna straighten it up a little bit more. Okay. And then I'll go with the shoulders to turn this inward. Yeah. There we go. Now, as for the hands, I think this other bone is still there. Yeah, I don't want that bone. Come back. I'm gonna do the same thing over here because I want to get rid of that G bone. I just want the hand to be the hand. All right. Here we go. All right. So now she is in the 1-inch bridge. Okay. So I also feel like the shoulders are hiked a little bit, so I will bring them up. I could be wrong, but let's go with that. All right, so let's hike them a little. There we go. Okay, and then like the way that they're set, I'm gonna roll them forward some because this should be level to about roughly there. There we go. All right, so the hands are not too bad. I think the hands are okay. We'll leave those alone. All right, so that's the first pose. So let me go ahead and create the action editor. I'm just gonna drop this pose in there as is. Now I know you say, well, you didn't start there. You started with the You're right, I did. But I'm gonna set the key by myself on my own. So set the key. Where's the base? All right, hold on. Let's fix this because I already know this is gonna get in the way. Click the pelvis again, and I'll bring it back down. Because I don't want her body to move because of the base bone. Okay, so I'll select it again. I'm going to go location rotation because we're not doing anything else. And then I'm just going to go to frame 10. Okay, so I'm going to move that to frame 10, and then frame 1, I will go back to the rest pose. So I see clearly the base is down there again. So I'm going to move that one more time, go back to the pelvis, and I'll bring it down. This is what I'm doing. So yours may be different from mine. And I'm going to select that because I know she has to go from that to that. So that'll be the most she'll go to. But here, I believe that something would move up. She wouldn't just slide into that. Well, you could because they do a lot of sliding moves. So I think in this one, we'll probably just move like her foot, like kind of do like the little kind of grippy thing. But again, this is just about creating dynamic movements. Okay, so now we got that one, and now that one's set. So I'm going to go back to the rest pose. And I'm not setting it, I'm just putting it in that position. So I clearly see that this rest pose is off again. I'm gonna fix it one more time because when I go to do the next pose, I don't want anything to get in the way. Now, let me make this clear. This thing is going to, if you click the arrow button, it's going to change your entire thing. So what I'm gonna do is select all of this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and secure it, okay? By creating a keyframe, but I know I'm gonna change this. The reason why I'm not using the auto keying is because I may want to change something, and I don't want I'm not tripping if it goes back because I'm only going to those poses. So because of the first pose, which is this one, I'm going to go to the second one now. So we're going to do hit T. This way it stay constant and it doesn't change until it gets to that next pose. Okay. So we're just going to hit T on those and just make it constant. This way we don't have that problem. So now this one we're going to do sending bridge from 1-inch bridge. Okay. So I'm going to go to this one. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to select all of it. All right. I'm sorry, not that. I'm going to select this. I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay. Now I want you to realize on the sending bridge, if we look at it, the sending bridge, the feet are outward. So let's start there and then just push it out. Okay. All right. But then also the legs are, he's in a deeper stance. So we're going to go further down. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the legs harder and go into that deeper stance. So I know it needs to be wider. Hit 1 and we're just going to push it out wider. Okay. Don't forget to save. Okay, somehow, some way, this is up higher than that one. So let me fix that. There we go. All right, now it's fixed. Okay. Okay. Now, also, the back, you can't really see it, but because the way the elbows are tucked, the back goes back a little bit. So I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to push it back ever so slightly and then go back to the neck and then push it forward and the head back some more. I know this position personally from my own martial arts journey. So yeah. Okay. So now for the arms, I'm just going to select all of this to keep it simple. Plus the shoulders, and I'm just going to give it a deep, I'm just going to hit rotate location. Okay, so I know that the shoulders are where I'm going to start. So I know that the shoulders, based on what I'm seeing in the pose, the shoulders are pretty much square, but I'm going to push them down slightly. Okay, and I know that in order for this pose to work, the shoulders basically need to stay where they are. And they would move forward slightly, ever so slightly. Okay. So I'll just do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab the arms since they're reset. So I know that the arm one, not arm one, arm two. So I know I want that and the helper. So the armor bones are in the way. I'm going to hide those real quick. So this way I can just have these to grab, okay? All right. So I already know I need to move this forward. So I'm gonna move these forward to roughly about there. Okay, and I know I need to rotate. I'll bring it down some because I know this part here has to bend. So let's go back to local. And I can clearly see that it's on the Y, so. Because remember, this is tucked. Okay, so let's go to the front and let's just deal with the default rotation. I'm sorry, the trackball rotation. Okay, so the arm is pretty much what's keeping this. Not the arm. I'm saying the arm. This one will be slightly tucked, so this would. I'm trying to get it to be in the right position for that pose. Okay, so you basically would have this up, right, and then the hands would turn forward. So the hands would turn. So I would use the hand and then just rotate the hand. All right. So let's push this back a little bit more. So let's go to the front, see what we got. Okay, so yeah, this is basically roughly about where to be. All right, because I'm just looking at it over here, and I know that thumb has to come in, so this needs to rotate forward some. There we go. Okay, this is not tight enough. This needs to be tighter. Hit 1. We're gonna make it tight. Get it in there tight. It also means this needs to come over some more. This comes over some. There we go. Okay. All right. So I gotta do the same thing with this one. I'll just bring it down and then rotate it because I know it needs to be rotated. And this one's on the Y, RY. Oh, wrong way. That looked like it broke our arm. All right. Okay. So I can tell that one is not the same as that as the other. All right. All right. Yeah, you see how they're not in the same position? You can definitely tell they're not the same. This is because this one is not as far forward. That's why. So still seems. Oh, okay. Yeah, got to push this in some. It still seems off to me, even though they're basically in the same position. That's got to be the model. All right. No, they're still a little bit off. This one come forward some more, or is it back? No, it's forward. Okay. All right. Yeah, you see that? It just looks off. You can look straight across and tell that it's not the same position. That is so weird. Hmm. That's better right there. All right, so now I'm gonna grab the hands and get rid of. Oh no, that the actual hand didn't get selected. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so now here goes a little cheating. I think I could cheat. I might not be able to. Yeah. So fists. So I'm gonna make a fist with this hand, and then on this one, I'm gonna grab these bones and turn the rotation off. Right. And then I know these, the same thing, reset the rotation, and there we go. So that's pretty simple though. And then reset this because I know that these go in some. And there you have it. All right, same thing here. We're gonna select everything. Fist, grab. Don't forget to save. And there's the position. Now let's fix the height. Okay. So I feel like this one is still wrong. So I think I want to push it out because I know it's almost straight. So I'm thinking that this is not really tucked, but it's straight because you can't see it. So the arm is actually out some. So I'm gonna fix that because I know that position, and that's just really not what that position looks like. Hold on, let me go back. I'll move them at the same time. Go global. All right, push them out, and then grabbing the shoulders and rotating upward. So we hit one, boom. All right. So I'm thinking it's still up a little too high. I'll bring it down some. There we go. So I can tell that this was definitely higher than that one. All right. One, turn the overlay off. Yeah, that wrist is turned sideways. I don't like that. So let's fix that hand. Let me fix that hand. All right. Okay, see, you can tell they're off. I don't like that. All right, now save that rotation. And now we have these different poses. Okay, so since that goes 1, 2, the arms, boom. Okay, so now let's go to 30 and I'll just sit. I guess I need to see which one I want to use first before I set anything. Okay, so I like that one. And then I think I wanted to go into this one, but that means it would be sideways. Or it could be forward. It just depends. Because you would kind of hop into that position. So I'm thinking this that the reversed bridge would be a nice one to go into. So I think I'll just set her up on the rest pose. All right. And then of course select everything. And then I want the legs, just the legs from this pose. This is what I want, just those. So I'm gonna click this so we only see those, and I just want the legs from this pose. And the feet too. So click that, I'm gonna copy and paste. Let's look crazy, right? But it's got a reason, okay? So is this right here? Those are the knees. That's not correct. This is what I wanted from that. Tripping. All right, there we go. Okay, so the difference here is this one will be out. So we're gonna fix that one. Push this one out, and then this one will be back. This foot would be straight, or to a point, and then this leg here that clearly is not the right thing. So I want the knee turned off. Let me hide the knee because I don't need those getting in the way. Okay, so this leg would rotate out some more along with this one. So let me go local so I can get that direct rotation. Yeah. Okay. And this would probably come over some more. So I mean I would have to push this out till the 4. There we go. All right. And then it's funny because the pelvis actually wouldn't really turn. It would just be like a slight turn, but very slight. All right. So let me hit this, and I'm just going to use a general. I'm going to grab this generally. That's not where I wanted to grab. Y'all tripping. Hit 1 so I can see it. Okay. This will also be tucked in a little bit more too. So that means this one will come out some more. This one still seems kind of high. Okay, so my eye. All right. Oh. All right. Now I think I clicked the wrong button. Okay. All right. So now I'll turn probably this one. Turn it ever so slightly because this will be really to be more like this, and then the chest would turn. All right. Now this arm. Let me grab these, and I'm gonna go. I think I'll do this one. All right, so I'm gonna grab this and turn it out. Shoulder. All right, again, the hand here is posed the same way. Hold on. Let me grab the hand itself. I'm tripping. Let me just do this, and I'll just undo the hand. So this same pose that was there, I still want that. Oh no. What changed? I just want the hand. Don't. Oh. Okay, let's lock this in. That's why I don't have nothing tripping on me. Okay, so now I'll grab the hand. All right, so his hand is straight. All right, now, and it'll still be the same, basically the same position, but let me correct. That's where I messed up at. That's why it looked funny to me. Turn the arm roll over so it doesn't have that weird effect. Okay. All right. And then the neck. roll the neck. Let me see it from above. Roll the neck and then the head a little. There we go. Okay, and then this one, I think I'll do the same thing. I know it's tucked in. Again, these default poses help. Right. I know it's drawing back some too. Kind of just want the arm without the elbow. Is that the arm too? Yep. All right. Go. Then grab all of this to create a fist. All right. Because the fist is tucked under, and I'm thinking this would be the best way to tuck it under. But I know that arm's not dropped. It's kind of forward some, if that makes sense. Like this. Right. And I know this is dropped down. Oh, undo that. And then the arm is pushed back. There we go. All right. And since the spine is a certain way, let me make sure it ain't crooked. Oh, I know. Oh, I turned the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me get my turn back on. Okay. There we go. All right. Hit this pelvis, and we're going to go back to 1. Click. Uh-oh. It's on local. Okay, so that leg is wrong. Let me get this leg tight. I want to make sure that foot's on the ground. All right. I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Rotate that back. All right. What? You didn't snap? All right. And there we have it. Now lock it in. Boom. Okay, so we got three positions locked in. That one, that one, that one. Okay. So I'm gonna take these 3 and I'm gonna spread them across about let's say 100 over a good little span. Okay, so 40 and then another 40, which should be 80, of course, right? And then 160. So I know I need to go, well, really it wouldn't be 160, it'd be 120. Okay. So I'll make it 121 just for the sake of it. Okay, well, 119. Okay, so I'm gonna turn constant off. I'm gonna go to Bezier. All right. So I know without a doubt, in order to switch between these 2 motions, I need there to be a slight motion. So I'm going to turn my reference off. All right. Because I'm only going to use these 3 poses. And so now I know without a doubt for her to come through these poses, I need her. So her feet are going to move a certain way. So for me, I'm going to hit 3 and I'm going to rotate. I'm going to push her pelvis up. Okay, so let's open this back up. So I'm going to push her pelvis up a little bit. And just a little. And so I can rotate these ever so slightly. Okay, so now let me go ahead and turn this on because I'm going to need it to lock in every time I move it. So let me just move it a little bit so to go back to default. Okay, so now when I click it, I'm going to move it up ever so slightly. I went back to global, my man. Okay, because I want her to slowly turn a pivot on her feet is what I mean to say. Okay. We go back to pelvis and push it down. Okay. So it's like, right? You see how she's so slowly going to that position? So we see it from up here. If we see it from the side, it'll be like slide, turn, push down. So I see there's a slight, like it slightly goes up. I'm gonna fix that. Okay. So it's definitely down and too far down for me right there. All right. So I kind of want her to hold a certain position, but she's moving from this. So the next one she'll hold. So I think I will go to 160. So this way, when she goes to each new position, is a certain level of hold that can be done. That ain't long enough either. Let's just take it back to 250. And I'll just move this one to 120 and this one to like 220. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Sorry, I had paused for a second. Okay, so she moves it. She's moving into that position, and then I wanted to hold. So I'm going to grab all this here. I'm going to shift D, and I'm going to have her hold. So I kind of want. I don't know how many frames I want to hold on. So I think I wanted to make that move because since it's going at like 40 frames, I think I'll just have her do it at like 32. Ah, okay. How many frames is left on that? So let's move this 8 frames forward. All right. So she'll hold there, but I'm thinking on that hold, just a slight bit of movement, not a whole lot. Even though she's supposed to be still, but we're gonna grab these shoulders, and I'm just gonna ever so slightly just adjust these to like almost like up some, and maybe her neck a little bit. Okay. So now when we see it from, let's just say maybe the camera. Oh, the camera's off, so let me go adjust it. I don't want it right on her. So we look at this from camera view. Make sure it's on 0 down the middle. Okay. So we look at it from camera view. We can see it make the adjustment. I know it's slow, but that's because I got it playing every frame. So let's make it frame drop. So yeah, it switched because I like the way it rotated and then went into it. But here what I want to happen is to bend the arms. So I can see clearly we need to bend her arms also in this part. So here and here needs to fold a little bit before she goes into that move. And then I kind of want her hands to turn slightly, like she's moving them up to go into that position. There we go. So it's like, I don't think that's deep enough. I want them to go deeper. Go deeper. Okay. There we go. Let's see it from the camera view. So yeah, I wanted to go down and don't come back up for a second. So let me go and click both of them. Shift D, and it'll pop forward. So let's see what I get from here. Yeah, there it is. It's like wham. Like, I like how when you can look at her feet and she settles into the position. So for the sake of creating more of an illusion of it, let's just go and then drop a plane in there. I'm gonna turn bloom off. Don't need it. Click. All right. So we look at it from here. You can see her go into the position. So I like that. Watch the wrists. Wham. You know, you see it from this angle. Okay. It's not bad. All right. Okay. So now, hold on a second. Yeah, okay. So I'm sorry, I had to pause again. Okay, so now we oh, okay. So I was checking something. All right, so now how we go? So move. So I still feel like those wrists are not deep enough. I want them to go deeper. Let's go deeper. So make them go a little bit deeper than that. All right, go back to local. Turn, push them down. Okay. Grab both, come over here to this one. Gonna. All right. Alrighty then. Now if I come back to the camera view, see what it got. Okay, so I see when the arms bend, to me it's not bending far enough. So I'm gonna fix that too. I feel like those aren't going down far enough, or too late either or. Why is that in there? I don't need all, well, oh, I see what happened. Never mind. All right. Push this forward. Still feel like it's still not correct, so. All right. I'm gonna get rid of that one. So I feel like this maybe should go out, huh? You think so? I think these should shoot outward a little bit and then make their way in. So yeah, making those decisions. Let's go extreme. Don't even teeter totter with it. Go extreme. Go extreme. All right. Click both. Oh, go back. Click both of them. So yeah, the arms bending here and here and there may still not be enough. So maybe need to hold out a little bit. That's too far. Go about right there. I still don't like it. It's ugly to me. Fix it. Okay. Maybe early on it's like they whip out. Yeah, select the whole thing. This part right here, I think, is what's frustrating me because it's too long. Ugh, undo all of what I just did. Okay. It's not too bad, but like I like how it goes in and then goes to go out. But she still has to move upward. But I think this would be where she'll kind of do a hop up. Like when it gets ready to go to the next one, it'll be like a hop up and then move into it. So I probably would have her stationary on every other thing but this. So it's like come here to that and then just control shift D and then grab the pelvis and then like 1 2 3 4 but go upward where she kind of hops and it come like almost right back to where she started just to go into that position. So it's like, right, so that means that the legs would have to kind of jump as she come off her feet. So I'm like, all right, let's see what we get. We go back into local. All right, so she's jumping off her feet, pushing off, so that means these will have to come up too. Push back, not that far back. Come on, get out of there. Back a little bit. I'll delete that one. Push this to no, it can stay right there. And then these will go forward a little, and then again this, like so. Grab these two. Okay. So let's see. See, that's not enough. So that means that the legs need to push out more. This part, so it's like, oh, so yeah, this will be straighter. This will go out straighter, and then this will push back more. I was like, oh, so I know I need to still work on that part. Okay, so like all of these gotta go. The feet too, because they're popping. So it's like, so it's got to come off the ground. Pelvis, where you at, pelvis? come off the ground. I figured this would come up some more, so I might as well take it up some more. Because her feet have to come off the ground. But that also means she should come down some. This one should be down. Yep, I'm tripping. This one should be down, not up. Down. Then these would tuck more, so that means that, yeah, this would go up. And then these will come back. So I feel like she ain't going down enough. This is too far back. There we go. Whatever I have right here, delete. Let me delete that. So, and lock this one for a second. Oh, wrong button. Lock that one for a second. I need her to come off the ground. All of this is horrible. All this is horrible. And I don't even know where the change is. So I'm just going to grab all of this and everything past that point. Just delete it. Okay. Because I'll fix it. Because it's like trying to find that spacing. All right, she holding, and because she could still slide into those positions, but that means you also have to rotate her feet into those positions. So you need to slide forward ever so slightly, slide out, but then those feet still need to rotate forward. So we go back to global, because she would move on her toes. Right. That also means I would have to rotate a little bit here too to get to that point. Select the whole thing. Okay, so see how it starts to rise? Like it's almost looking like it's coming off the ground, I think. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, I don't like that. It's that one foot looked like it's trying to adjust. Yeah, like I would want her feet to twist a little bit on the inside, like she's sliding them. So I would grab this and then rotate it a little bit on the inside a little bit more. Yep, there we go. So now it's like, and then she's rotating in. But I think that I need to slide this back maybe 2 frames. So let me go 2 frames out. 2 frames, all right. Yeah. But it also means to me that the legs would need to do the same thing as the knee. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay. Too far. All right. Oh, it looked like it's in the same position. Let's make it actually change. Okay. All right. Again, go to the next position. This slightly goes in. Slightly goes in. All right, go back in the camera view. Let's start from the jump. 1 position, 2 position. Now I know that moved, so let me go ahead and lock that one in for the same amount of frames. Since this one's so far away, it's too far, so I'll go plus 40, and then this will be within like so many frames of that. So I know from here to there I need to do like 32 frames. Yeah, that works. And then from that, I think it's what I'll do 32 frames. Okay. All right. So hold on, how many frames I hold on that one? I held way more than that on that. I think I held with 40. So that's more than 40 frames being held right there. Oof. Let me slide this back because I think I messed up and moved it. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, I do need to move this 40. And then 32 forward to the next one. That's great. That's fine. All right, there we go. All right, so just make it 190 real quick. All right, this is when I'll have to fight. I do not like the way they did that. I'm still wanting to fight this part of the animation. Because it's like holding so long. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. See what we got. Go. All right, for this one, I think I want. Yeah, it's on global. All right. I'll grab these two like I had a second ago. And it's just slightly roll them down. And then her center, let's just say I'll roll it a little. No, roll it back a little. Along with her neck forward some. All right, there we go. Okay, so now here is where I want to see what it looks like when she goes to turn. Okay, so again, this is more one of those make the arms rotate. But I think I also want to change the position of the hand so it'll go back into that position. So I'm thinking I want the hand to become like a fist first. And then go into like this fighter pose. So it'll be like click. So like instantly, like almost instantly. And then it'll hold for maybe a few frames and then go. No, just give it a little bit more. All right. Or not that one, but maybe go to hand poses, maybe another pose. And try 2. Yeah, I can deal with that. Okay. See what I get with that. Yeah, so it snaps. Wham, snaps to it. 220. I don't want nothing to stop the animation. Okay. Okay, so now this part where the head starts to turn, I want to lock it out. So I'm going to lock out the head and neck for a second. But the neck is going to start to move before the head. And then the head will follow. Yeah, so you see how I also kind of wanted to lean down a little, her neck. Just a little. And then her head, that one is a little bit different also. So let's see. Maybe rotate this way and it come down some. Like she's being extra about it. Let's see what we have, because I still have to do the feet. Yeah, because she's snapping into that pose. So you see how the arm kind of snaps? This arm. Okay, so I kind of wanted to hold, but then snap back. So I know I'm going to do these feet first, though. Just the animation starts where? Here. Okay. So I know I need to do these feet first because she has to adjust to slide into it because she's sliding back. So I need the foot to move accordingly and the leg accordingly. So it's like, again, the same actions from before. Okay. Oh, let me do both of these now. That's why I want to fight it later. Okay. All right, let's check out time. 49 minutes. Let's go. All right. Don't forget to save. All right. I also feel kind of like the pelvis needs to slide back, something like she would slide into that, almost slightly turn into it. So I'm gonna add that spin right here at the end because it's just stationary. It's not even. I mean, it's turning, but not as much as I would think I would want it to. Same thing with this right here. Keep it like that. This way it's more like in tune with the direction. Ooh. So the body should start trying to turn a little earlier too. I'll use the second spine to do that. And then this arm, like I was saying, I kind of want it to lock out some. What's the helper? Is the helper attached? What's the helper? Oh, okay, never mind. All right. So it's like, there we go. Like, but I do want the hand to start to alter, but I want it to go into like a natural pose. Not the wrist. Oh my goodness. Delete that. I don't want that. I'll control that. All right. See it from camera view. Now you can see the feet slightly move so she can adjust. And then, but I feel like the waist is too slow. Like the hips. So it's like, yeah. I also feel like the upper body need to move a little bit more too. And these shoulders, like the shoulder here, should slide back a little. And this one should slide forward, so to get to that point. Again, these are just little, just something to like work on, practice on poses. Oh, let me see. See, it felt kind of jank right here. So I feel like these need to be offset. In the world? Why is it two? Oh, I never did one for the foot. That's why. Okay, now we're good. All right. Just offset them a little. Yeah, that's way more natural. But I also want that body to swing around hard when she turns. So grab all the things I know for a fact I used. They all off right here too. I'm gonna make them all link up. Okay, so I want it to kind of swing forward. So I think the chest is the part I want to move last. Yeah, so Shift D. See what I get. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's a little bit better. But this arm right here should come down some. So I'm thinking I'll grab this like that and just kind of push it down some. It's like, and then right about there, yank up a little. It's like, just a little. That still was too much. Okay. I feel like this should be further down so that other one makes more sense. Oh, I just missed a whole mark on that one. So on that one, I'm probably gonna lift this lift that part up. All right. So it's up a little bit higher. All right. And let's go. Okay, so again, I feel like that hand. So yeah, I feel like the head might need to go first. So I'm gonna rotate this one. I'm gonna push this one back some. And like, If you wonder what I'm clicking, I'm just pushing the nodes up and down. All right, so about close to what we want. So run through it again. And again, I could do more with these, but again, this is like a rough cut, just showing dynamic actions. And just looking at transitions, because again, like this one here, see how her foot right here, like how it instantly slides back. Then this one starts to roll too. And then they should rotate in a little bit. It's not a lot that they rotate in, but yeah. So, because you would, like in martial arts, you do roll your feet a lot. Okay. So I feel like that one's not snapping like the other one. So I think I can fix that with this. Okay. So I'll make it hold out just a little bit. So it snaps. So I think the same thing here. This one needs to hold. Oh, it doesn't have a hold. All right, just. Same thing with the wrist, because the wrist is already turning and it's not even giving itself a break. Oh, okay. I know what to do there. There it is. Boom. It already had be something set up and ready. Alrighty then. Let's look at the playback. Ooh, hold on. Something that felt lagged. See how that moved right there? So the arm should have a little bit of give. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that. I'm gonna give it a little bit of give. Yeah, but I think what needs to happen is it just needs to go forward some more so it sort of pops. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. All right. I know most people. Oh, I'm sorry, I kicked the mic. Most people be working in the graph editor, but I'm just right now. I'm not. I'm just trying to show some basic stuff with just the armature, because usually I would use a rig. And then over time in the graph editor, refine the action. So let's say we go into the graph editor, and I just select the bones, right? So let's select the bones, select everything here, hit the period key on the numpad, and let's just look at the keys for the neck, right? So here's all the stuff for the neck. Let's just look at the rotations. And so again, the rotation, we don't really get anything till the end, right? So if I was to select maybe the head, even the rotations toward the end, let's say shoulder. So we're getting some rotations toward the end here. Pick one shoulder guy. All right. So we drop down, look at all the rotations. Say the Y rotation. Yeah. So that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go change this to select the curve only. So now we see these curves and we see what's on here. So let's say if I was to come in and play with this, I would just grab these two, hit V, go free. And I probably would take this V cut, and I'll click the other shoulder too, just for the sake of it. So I'll come over here and I'll go to its Y. Okay, and then the Y here. So they're both selected. And understand these things are going the opposite directions. Okay, so undelete, undelete, free. Okay, so these two right here, I would just grab G and then pull out, right? So I know this one's probably not free right now because it's tripping. Okay, so I would just grab these and be like, all right, cool. But I know I can only do one at a time. So on this one, I grab and push it down a little. Same thing here, but this time it'll go up. And then, okay. And then the same thing with like the wrists. So if I come to the hand, right hand, and I just grab, I want to say which one is it, rotating the R, I mean the Y, just the V, free, and I want this to pop harder. I would just grab this and then pull it out. So let's say if I got real tight to these, I grab this one and give it a little bit of an arc, and I'll do the same thing with the other hand also. To the V, I mean this Y, man, I keep saying V, to the Y, V free, and then grab this one and do the same thing. Okay, and then when you watch the playback, you see how it added more emphasis toward the end of the rotation, because I'm giving it that it's kind of dropping a little and then popping upward because of the curve, right? Okay, so let's say I do the same thing with the shoulders. Clearly the shoulders are not as pronounced, but again, I did the same thing. Come in and push it down some. Over here to the same, do the same over here, grab this one, pull it up a little bit more, and we get to see that rotation from there. But now I want the arm. So let's say arm 1 on the X. So I'll grab the X and just select these, hit the numpad, I mean the key, period key on numpad, select the ones that I know I want, V free, and because I want it to pop upward, I'm gonna grab this one and I'll push it. And the same thing goes for the other arm also. Again, on the X, and because we're already tight, I'll just grab them from here. All right, there we go. See how it's slow? This time it was further down and then it pops upward. So it's the same thing. See? So it allows for a little bit of a smoother movement. So I know on like leg 1, let's go to leg 1, click leg 1. I know that the rotations on because it's in local, right? So I know the rotations on the Y. Select everything because I know this is where the rotation's happening. Okay, it's real slight, so I'll hit V and free it. And then this time I'll just take it and just drag it down a little bit, pull it out. Okay. So I know it's going to rotate ever so slightly on leg 1. Okay. So I know leg 2, let's open it up. Leg 2 also has the same thing. Its rotations on the Y also. Pick it all. It's very slight rotation, as you can clearly see here. V free. Grab this one. And I'll do the same thing. I'll go a little deeper on that one. I just want to see the difference of the effect. Okay, and it just it adds a little bit of something, because I know with like the foot, if I was to come up here, turn this off, click the foot, the rotations again on the Y, make sure everything's selected, and I know that this slightly moves back and forth because you see this one. So if I come here, go right here, and I just push G Y, you see how I can traverse that. So I want to grab all of that and just go free. I'm gonna go V free, and I'm gonna take this by itself and I'm gonna push it up, and I'm gonna grab these two and I'm gonna push them down. Okay. Now this is the position I need to be stationary in, but I'm gonna pull it down just so slightly. All right, so let's watch it, and it gives a little bit more of a finesse pop. So if we come to it, you can see it sort of traverse and then make its way to its position. Okay, so both feet are moving accordingly because she's rotating into that position from there. See, it's still in the same spot, right? So if we look at this space right here, if we just look at, let's just annotate this space, because this is turned off. So we look at this space right here, we're going to be able to tell that it's still rotating in that same spot. So it's not moving from that position. She's still in the same space, and that's what we want to do. We don't want it out that space. Okay. All right, so I'll stop there. I just want to show you guys that. So again, try to look up some reference somewhere, see what you can find, create those poses, and then find your middle ground and find the poses between the poses. So there's always an in-between pose. Like for instance, if I usually would do an in-between, Let's just say I come here and she's getting ready to do the next pose. When she gets to do the next pose, I would probably switch her to one thing to go into the next one. But most of the time, people slowly move their arms down. Like a good example, say just grab these two, right? Okay, so let's grab everything. And I already know that the next pose is here, right? So this is the pose she's in. So let's say I grabbed all of that and I just shift D, right? And I come over here and I take this and I just drag it. See what happens, right? We don't want that. So let's delete that keyframe. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a downward action where she's going into the next transition. Okay, so I'll just do this, and I know that that's going to give me a new set of keyframes. But you see how it slowly drops into that position. So that's the whole thing. It's like I want to. Okay, so it's the same thing here. If I grab these, and as she's going, let me clear it. So we know between here and there is a new set of frames. Okay. Okay, so I would just figure out where I want that to drop because I already know that's dropping. So how would I change that frequency? But I know I need to keep my feet on the ground. So I mean my pelvis would have to change also, right? So that it's just understanding that if I'm going to change something as drastic as the legs, I have to consider it from this point, from her core. So I have to consider everything I'm gonna do from this area. Do not forget that, okay? Because a lot of people forget that. So that's one of the biggest things that you want to remember is everything starts from the center. All right. Okay, guys, I hope that helps someone. I hope you learned something. If not, then, you know, hey, sometimes it's like that. But for the most part, if you got any comments, questions, any kind of view on what it is you would like to see next or whatnot, leave a comment. I don't trip on what type of comments you leave. You know, if you don't like it, okay. If you like it, great. Leave a like. Share it, subscribe, whatever the case may be. But from here, none but love.